So as I said, welcome to Real Wages for Real Works presentation. And today you're going to hear what employers really want by VIP Works and Design. And I know they're going to introduce themselves, but I would just want to let you know my friends Phyllis Guthman and Rori Becker are here to join us, and they will share, and you'll see video of real life individuals with disabilities who will be sharing their experiences as well.
Today, self-advocates and employment professionals will learn tips on achieving long-term employment success. We will show strategies to assist with workplace challenges, the benefits of hiring someone with autism, some keys to success, and how VIP Works employment training program complements our VIP Works design agency.
Bright Feet's and Disability Resource Hub are your sources for finding special needs resources in the community. We produce a publication and website with a directory of educational, therapeutic, and community supports for local families. The same team that worked at Bright Feet's directory for 15 years, Disability Resource Hub Tampa Publications for 5 years, and VIP Works Employment Training Program for 3 years. Next. Has brought their experience and expertise to VIP Works Design, your full service digital marketing agency. We take the work out of marketing so our clients can focus on providing services in the community. Hi, I'm Rori Becker, a Florida native and UCF graduate. I have a teaching background and worked in the nonprofit field. After my first child was born premature, I managed the complex medical and educational care for my daughter while learning about services available throughout the local special needs community. Co-founding Simple Life Connections in 2006, I helped produce Giglio Lattes, a yoga and Pilates video for children with diverse abilities, and the Bright Feet's directory. In 2017, as I considered my own daughter's transition to adulthood and independent living, I saw an opportunity to expand my mission with Bright Feet's to include inclusive employment. Thus, the VIP Works training program was born. VIP Works currently hosts 3 work sites that teach individuals with unique abilities to perform digital marketing and design activities. Last year, VIP Works trained a combined total of 79 participants.
Next. Hi, I'm Phyllis Guthman, and I created this Disability Resource Hub 9 years ago. I've been collaborating with Rori Becker for the past 5 years to produce a Tampa Bay disability resource publication. And recently together, we co-founded VIP Works Design. I have provided disability information, resources, and communications for disability ministries, sports, recreation, and art organizations, as well as statewide and local disability agencies for over 20 years. This experience has brought me to VIP Works, the employment training program that Rori just mentioned, and now VIP Works Design for adults with autism and other special needs.
Our team of employees also include Chris, Alex, Joseph, and Sho. And we actually have a new participant starting to work for us on Thursday. Yay.
Yay.
So Chris graduated from our VIP Works program at the ASD Adult Achievement Center. He has a background and interest in graphic arts. He started working for Bright Feet's corporate office in June 2019. And he steadily increased his work hours and dedication to our in-house design projects and freelance opportunities for selected clients. Chris continues to expand his expertise to include website design, video editing, SEO, pay-per-click, and administrative support. Chris currently serves as our full-time lead graphic designer for VIP Works Design. Alex participated in the VIP Works training program at the ASD Adult Achievement Center in 2020. She was there to improve her work skills and to pursue a profession utilizing her design skills. She successfully completed all of her selected programs and was hired as a graphic designer part-time in April of this year. She originally started working 10 hours a week, but quickly, almost immediately, ramped up to 40 hours a week. Alex specializes in social media marketing, graphic design, video promotions, voiceover work, and will be learning about email marketing. In addition to our pictured full-time employees, Chris and Alex, we also have now three part-time employees, Joseph, Sho, and Andrew. Joseph is a graduate of our VIP Works program and started working with us last month. He works 15 hours a week. He is developing his abilities and his videography skills and is interested in learning about website design and SEO services. He is also quite skilled at voiceover work. Sho was a VIP Works participant in 2019. He has an interest in expertise and education in accounting, and he started working for us last year. He reconciles our bank accounts and performs our bookkeeping. Our VIP Works go ahead. We'll show a video first. Oh, it didn't play.
There's supposed to be sound, Denise.
Yeah, can we restart it? Our VIP Works team created this this video for us to share with you. It working? No? Well, our design team is a full service digital marketing agency.
Just give me a second. I gotta find the
Okay, sure.
button, or either I have to start the share
Okay.
all over again.
Well, while she's working on the technical difficulties, we perform all of our design and digital marketing services just like a typical design agency. We're definitely professionals and we provide finished products with exceptional quality. Yeah. With the administrative support offered to our employees, and our clients are able through us to realize the dream of becoming an inclusive employer without the challenges associated with hiring individuals with unique abilities. And if anyone is listening and they're a provider in the community and share a mission for inclusive employment, please contact us and find out more information about the services we offer. Are we able to show it?
VIP Works Design,
Yes.
your one-stop digital agency. We believe in hard work and dedication, collaborating with our partners to teach adults with autism and other unique abilities.
Our services include graphic design, video, social media, WordPress updates, email marketing, and SEO.
We take the work out of marketing so you can focus on serving your clients. We manage all your design and marketing needs from concept to completion.
Just say the word. We can do it all. Call us at 407-620-9355 or visit our website at vipworksdesign.com.
Yay, that's great. Thanks, Denise. Okay, so why are we talking about inclusive employment? Well, unemployment and inclusion for people with disabilities is an important topic because statistics show, for example, in the 2019 US Bureau of Labor Statistics, only 19.3% of people with a disability are employed. And in the May 2020 National Geographic article titled "For Autistic Youth Entering Adulthood, A New World of Challenges Awaits," stated that 8 out of 10 adults with autism are unemployed or underemployed. The reality is that students in school and employment training programs are given a lot of support. And when they enter the workforce, they are usually expected to perform like their typical counterparts. So today we're going to discuss common challenges, benefits of hiring individuals with diverse abilities, keys to success, information about VIP Works and VIP Works design, and review community resources. But first, we'll look at common challenges in the workplace. One thing to note about overcoming social anxiety is that there's a difference between social potential and social performance. And that key is context. There's a great book, the Autism as Context Blindness by Dr. Peter Vermeulen. To understand context blindness, take, for example, a situation. Say you have to buy a birthday present. If I were to ask you what an appropriate birthday present would be for a good friend, you would realize that there is not a one-size-fits-all answer. It depends if this is a good friend, if it's someone you haven't talked to in a while, what your budget is, what their likes and dislikes are. It really varies from person to person, and our brain interprets situations based on context. However, the autistic brain thinks in absolutes rather than relative contextuality. Consider someone with context blindness. In our example with the birthday present, a person with autism might have trouble thinking through what to buy. They might decide their favorite game is Uno, and Uno is the perfect gift, and always buy that for people instead of thinking about what would be a good present for each individual person. So how do we teach contextual sensitivity? Perhaps instead of focusing just on social skills, we should focus on teaching social context, and then teach the necessary rules, conversations, and behaviors attached to a certain context. This can be a good way to overcome social anxiety in the workplace. Consider the following contextual situations at work. What is the routine when you walk in? Do you clock in? Are you allowed to converse with your coworkers? What is an appropriate amount of time to converse? What are the appropriate topics to talk about? Well, we can teach workers appropriate ways to manage these common situations and thus reduce social anxiety. Another concern in the workplace is sensory challenges. Common sensory challenges include sensitivities to fragrance, light, noise, and temperature. Brainstorming acceptable options to tackle sensory challenges with a coworker, an employer, or a trusted friend or family member can be helpful. Employers can request participants refrain from using perfumes or scented products at work. Lights can be dimmed or turned off to allow for natural light in the room. It may be helpful to close the door or provide pleasant background music for workspaces, and allowing employees to have desk fans or space heaters can give them more control of the temperature of their environment. We have to get, there we go. Another concern in the workplace is sensory challenges. I'm in the wrong one. Sorry about that. Okay, so being flexible and having the ability to solve problems in the workplace is very important. One of our employees once complained, all we do all day long is solve problems. That's a pretty good description of what it's like to run a business these days. Here are some suggestions to help with inflexibility. Thoughts are pictures to a person with autism. You don't need to tear down your entire picture because one thing is a problem. Make your picture in layers. Think of clear projector sheets stacked on one another to create a bigger picture. Imagine the workplace room as a single image. Each part of the room exists on a single layer in the picture. The desk may be on one layer, the chair is on another, and the computer is on another layer, etc. Until everything in the room is on these clear projector sheets. All of these individual layers combine to make one workplace room. Now say you have a problem with being uncomfortable sitting at your desk all day. You can switch out different layers. Remove the layer with the desk. Perhaps request an adjustable desk so you can have the option to stand up or sit down to be more comfortable. Replace the layer with the new desk and reassemble the entire image again. With this strategy, you don't have to throw out the whole picture, but instead, you can replace parts that don't work with layers that do. Next, thanks. Feedback and constructive criticism. We receive constant feedback and constructive criticism all the time with the work that we do. It's easy to take it personally and to feel discouraged, especially due to the fact that design projects require creativity and an artistic ability to execute successfully. Designers have an investment in the work that they do. Handling criticism is important. Here are some suggestions. You can see it as an opportunity for growth. If you can embrace constructive criticism, your work will improve and you will become more successful. Make sure to pause. Don't attempt to address the criticism until you've had time to process. Understand the critic. Do they want to help you or bring you down? It's also important to develop a thick skin and to stay positive. Sometimes the criticism comes down to opinion. At work, we have to please the client and fulfill their expectations, even if we don't agree. Making the client happy is more important than being right. And finally, be prepared to bounce back and learn client preferences so you can become more efficient with work assignments. Collaboration is key. Communication, both giving and receiving, will help employees become successful in the workplace. Working cooperatively and contributing is crucial. It's vital to take responsibility and ownership for assignments. Follow assignments through the entire process. Participate fully and stay on task and remain professional in the workplace. Participation requires knowing and communicating your strengths and areas for improvement. Be likable, but be careful with workplace humor as it can be difficult to navigate. Keep a good attitude and show respect for fellow employees and the administrative team. In part one, we've covered challenges in the workplace. Now in part two, we're going to talk about the benefits of hiring someone with autism. And these include attention to detail, problem-solving ability, and a consistent approach to work and routines. Attention to detail. Some individuals see the world in different ways. Tapping into this can be helpful. We all benefit from being inclusive, so new solutions can be discovered. Employers need to be prepared to be open-minded, listen to suggestions, and allow for out-of-the-box thinking. Individuals can also possess exceptional abilities. Because of their hyper-focus on special interests, they may become gifted and possess strengths in particular fields. Technical abilities and interests may allow them to thrive in many roles, including computer IT specialists, designers, videographers, and writers.
Regarding problem-solving abilities, a 2009 study published in the journal Human Brain Mapping found that people with autism are up to 40% faster at problem solving than their typical counterparts. Believe me, that's true. From my experience working with our team, they're good. We find participants that are skilled at using technology and other resources like Google to solve problems in the workplace are more successful. In addition to problem-solving abilities, employers appreciate long-term employees that are dedicated to serving career positions. Reliability and dependability are important. If employers are willing to accommodate the unique needs of the employee, they can become very dependable. And this is a quote from Dr. Temple Grandin, who is a world-renowned autism expert and advocate. People are always looking for the single magic bullet that will totally change everything. There is no single magic bullet. And I can attest to that as well. There is no single magic bullet. You just keep trying. So now we're going to go to the next step. Consistent approach and predictable routines. Structure routines for success. Some individuals enjoy predictable routines and patterns. These individuals work well with daily priorities and activities of a repetitive nature. Help them by organizing things into daily, weekly, and monthly schedules. Repetitive tasks that may be less interesting to some employees may be comforting to individuals with autism and other special needs. Make sure they have instructions in writing. Verbally review the instructions and tasks and let the person know what is expected in advance. Break down the workday and let them know when to take breaks and when to have lunch. Now we're going to focus on 3 keys to success, including self-awareness, stakeholder support, and person-centered planning, a personal favorite of mine. So stakeholders, utilize your resources. Achieving desired outcomes may require a lot of planning, and the sooner you start, the better. So if you're a parent out there or a guardian, and you have an 8 or 9 or 10-year-old that you think will need a lot of support, start planning now. Start planning for transition. Start planning for adulthood. It is really important to start planning as soon as you can. Collaborate with the teachers in the school district, transition specialists, guidance counselors, and don't forget the national, statewide, and community resources. We have a list of resources at the end of the presentation that are just wonderful. Many of them have been around for decades, and they really can support you. It doesn't make sense to try to reinvent the wheel. Just go out there, see what resources are available, start with your school, and then just continue until you find the help you need for either the individual that is a student or if it's your own child. Trust me, there are plenty of resources in Florida. People don't always know that, but there are so many. We know that from our previous jobs as publishers and also as parents. There are tons of resources, so don't forget to start with that. So self-awareness and the reality of actual skill sets are important for all individuals, regardless of ability. Encourage individuals to embrace their strengths, which is the platform to build on, and to identify their challenges for learning opportunities. For example, and this is true, we had a participant who was having some real challenges with the level of quality of his work and his assignments. His assignments were completed and were okay, but not quite up to the expectations of our clients. And actually, Rori and I noticed this, and we were sort of brainstorming, how are we going to bring, attention to this individual about this? But before we could even do it, his self-awareness of his discrepancy allowed him to push his designs to the next level to achieve success. So he actually did come to Rori and I and said, you know, I'm not really happy with what I'm producing for you. You know, maybe it was good enough for the training program, but it's not good enough for the design agency. And I recognize it, and I really want to get to the next level, and I really need some help and feedback. It's really great to be self-aware. Just like I'm self-aware that I skipped a slide and made Denise have to go backwards. So thank you, Denise, for doing that just quietly without embarrassing me. I called myself out. So the last step is person-centered planning. I love person-centered planning. It's really planning positive future. So we're going to close the strategies out with this, a very powerful strategy. It is ongoing problem solving process used to help people with disabilities plan for their future. And there are a couple of different versions, but we're just going to focus on two. The first one is PATH, Planning Alternative Tomorrows with Hope. Doesn't it just sound wonderful? It just sounds like no matter how bad things are, there's hope and you can plan for it. I think it's great. It's a creative planning tool that starts with the end in mind, and then you chain backwards, which is also how my brain works. So I really like this particular strategy. I always go to the end. I even go to the end of movies and books a little bit, and then I go back. These ideals and thoughts ultimately become known as the North Star. So there's a little graphic in the back. I don't know if you can see it all, but there's a little yellow gold star up there, and you can see a little arrow and a circle. That's what a path looks like. Now, MAPS, which is making action plans, is a planning process for people and organizations that begins with a story and the history. So you can get to know the organization or the person. You can dream with them and begin to build a plan to move in the direction of their dreams. I highly encourage you, if you've not heard anything about this process, or if you've heard a little bit and haven't really looked further, investigate it. Sometimes at school sites, they have people that are trained to do it. Florida Diagnostic and Learning Resources Systems is a statewide network that works with all the counties in Florida with the Exceptional Student Education Department. And they usually have someone trained to do that. Also, the CART centers, Center for Autism Related Disabilities across the state, they typically have someone trained at each center to do that. Also, the Florida Inclusion Network, which is also a statewide organization, which is now embedded into FITLRS, the Florida Diagnostic and Learning Resources System. And they have people that are trained to do it. You need to have a trained facilitator to walk you through the process. And it's a group process. It's not something that, you know, some facilitator says, here's a whole booklet of stuff, fill it out and get back to us. You get in a room together, put big old butcher paper on the wall, yank out all the markers and colors and pictures and things. And the individual with the disability should be included, and stakeholders, family, guardians, whatever, siblings. And one facilitator is drawing out all those colorful pictures you see in the background. And the other facilitator is guiding the conversation, always keeping the person as the center. The individual with the disability is the center, is person-centered. It's all about them. So you get as much input from them as you can in whatever communication they have, you know, the ability to use, whether it's verbal or it's sign language or it's writing or it's pictures. It's a great process. You have to take a chunk of time out to do it, but it's well worth it. It really gives you a map. I've often heard over the years people saying, kids with disabilities, they don't come with, you know, instruction manual. Well, you can make one. This is how you make one. So it's a really good strategy, and I highly encourage it. Next slide, please.
So we've talked about the challenges, common challenges in the workplace. We've talked about benefits of hiring individuals with autism and other special needs. We talked about really great keys to success in the workplace. Now we're going to talk about the nuts and bolts of what we do. At VIP Works, participants learn the work that we do. We offer a vocational skills lab training program that includes on-the-job experience, working in a variety of computer programs and other technology-related areas. The program teaches print and digital production skills, problem solving, entrepreneurship, and career readiness while developing communication skills for employment. The participants learn to successfully complete tasks in time, and interpersonal skills such as making eye contact and social thinking in the workplace. We currently have 3 VIP Works employment training sites, and they include the ASD Adult Achievement Center in the Orlando area, the McDonald Training Center in the Tampa Bay area, and the Brevard Achievement Center in Space Coast. So this is a video example of participants learning about creating social media posts.
Today, and we're going to create Facebook posts. And we want to try to think about the theme or the feeling of our post. Can you see anything else that looks unique on that, or what makes it stand out? What would you say makes that social media post stand out? Yeah.
The wide variety of colors, text fonts, and designs.
Fabulous. So, you know, you would start off with your picture and you have to then think of, what do I want to add to make this something special? So Chris, this is yours, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Mackenzie did Irish American Month. Here's National Wedding Day. Right in the middle. Oh, I love that. You did a great job. Oh, you're so good. Yeah.
If it's true that time is money, don't you think the real question is how you spend it?
So that's a fun example of what a day is like for us at VIP Works. Now we have graduates that from VIP Works training programs that demonstrate design ability, or if they demonstrate the appropriate professional skills, they can apply to work at VIP Works Design. We match our employees' strengths with client needs. Our continued coaching and assistance allows employees to experience success and reach their full potential. We help employees by using several resources. We use an assignment tracker, organizational tools. We help them through communication, by conducting peer reviews, and by providing accommodations in the workplace. So there are a lot of wraparound supports that we offer to our employees at VIP Works Design. And we're going to talk more about those supports. Next. So one of the tools we use to help our employees is through project management. Project management is so crucial in what we do. We have dozens of assignments ongoing in any month for each of our current clients, and we have to keep track of all of those assignments. So we use a project management tool called Monday.com. And this tool helps us make assignments for our employees, communicate about progress, give them client revisions, and to answer questions regarding the assignments. We track employee time for payroll, and we also track the billable hours for our client invoices through our Monday.com. We can detail instructions and add files, examples, and links all in one place for easy reference, which is really important. It's hard to find things. Best of all, the tool sends alerts to tagged participants that our employees prefer. They actually prefer getting these little tags and urgent messages through Monday.com. They prefer that as opposed to getting emails and text and phone calls. So utilizing this tool, it has been very motivating for our participants. They really like it. Another tool that we use for organizing ourselves at work are apps and resources that manage all the documents and work files that we create in completing assignments. We use creative tools like Canva, Powtoon, which allow our participants to develop their design abilities with easy to use templates. The tools and examples make designing much easier than just using traditional standard professional applications. But we do also use the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite applications as well. We use Google Drive as an inexpensive way to manage the tremendous amounts of files and documents in a way that the whole team can access and edit and share in real time. And in today's world, things are changing so fast. Just like our competitors in the design field, we are always looking for apps or resources that can support the various unique requests and needs of our clients. Finally, we use social media management resources to post finished projects, communicate revisions with clients, implement ads, and provide dynamic reporting for the clients that we serve.
Our administrative team, which is Rori and I, communicates with clients so employees can focus on technical and design strengths. Our administrative staff is hardworking, again, Rori and I. We're completely committed to the success of our employees. As Rori always says, we're living the dream. We work extended hours serving as an interface with clients, making sure all clients' expectations are exceeded. This allows our employees to focus on work activities that they are well suited to complete. They do all of the actual design work and become experts in particular activities they perform on a daily basis. Next, I'm going to show you a video of an actual peer review in progress. We work together as a team to review work, complete it, provide suggestions for improvement, and make projects more impactful. We have one today. We should have recorded it, Rori. It was very, I have to say, we used to do our peer reviews and it tended to be more non-peers, Rori and I, and less peers. And now we really hardly get to say anything because they just know exactly what to say to each other and how to say it. And they have such great ideas. So I find that the peer reviews are fun because they truly are peer reviews. This feedback allows employees to learn new techniques and skills from each other. It helps employees develop their design skills and build confidence. Each employee gives and receives feedback about their work, and they do it in a way that's professional and is not critical. It is, it's very productive. And I don't think anyone ever gets their feelings hurt. Everyone gets really excited about each other. If someone's done something they really think is awesome, they'll say, wow, that's really great the way you did that transition, but maybe you consider maybe doing this too. And then that person will say, wow, I hadn't thought of that. That's going to be awesome. So it's really a good, beneficial activity that we always keep. You can go. Okay, I think we need to be up to real wages for real work.
Oh, that was the right one, Phyllis.
Was that the right one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the right one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's yours.
We provide accommodations in the workplace. Well, let's talk about this. Employee support. We're going to talk about the accommodations, which includes a flexible schedule, professional development, job training, and a holistic approach. We provide accommodations in the workplace to help meet the needs of our employees, including all of those things I mentioned. A flexible schedule would include medical, therapeutic, and coaching sessions that they might have, ongoing professional development, and on-the-job training and peer training. We have created a holistic approach to employment with necessary supports put in place and faded over time to encourage success. We sincerely care about each other and look at the total person and life needs.
Okay, so now we'll talk about our business model, which is completely unique. I think we're like the only people doing this. So our employees start as subcontractors at $10 an hour, working 10 hours a week. That's how they initially start working for us at VIP Works Design. As they demonstrate their abilities and become employees that are on our payroll, they earn between $10 and $20 per hour for up to 40 hours a week. So originally, yay, I know, right? Originally, they started subcontractors, but then as they demonstrate their abilities and show us that they can be dependable and a good member of the team, then they work up to becoming a payroll status employee. And they can work up to 40 hours a week, which is, really awesome. The amount that they earn depends on the complexity of the assignments that they're completing and the skill required for project completion. So if they're doing entry-level activities like creating social media posts, that would be paid at a lower hourly rate. And then as they develop their skills, as they increase their abilities in more of the administrative aspects of social media support, and then some of our other activities like website design, SEO support, they require a higher level of competency in completing those activities, so they would get paid at a higher rate for those work assignments. Our select clients share our mission for inclusive employment, and that's really important. We would not be able to do this if we didn't all have this mission to employ people, including our clients. We collect between $25 and $45 per hour for the work completed from the clients. That's how much we bill them for that work. At VIP Works Design, we are a for-profit company that is fully funded by the services we are paid to complete for the clients. That's how we run our business. Our employees are compensated, and the remainder of the funds collected go to pay for administrative support and the overhead of running our business. We do not charge an administrative fee or an additional fee of any kind for work completed to cover the unique support provided to our employees. So that's how we run the business. That's our business model.
And I agree, it is unique. And so far it's working, so woot woot to us. So let's talk about what we actually do at VIP Works Design. We're a full service digital marketing agency, and our team creates unique graphics and social media posts for our clients. Each project is customized according to strategic campaign goals and specific online platforms. Our VIP Works Design employees can serve all your, I've moved on, Miss Denise, all your digital marketing needs. We can manage your WordPress updates, implement best SEO practices, which is search engine optimization, and execute your email marketing and more. And yes, these young individuals with autism and related disabilities can do search engine optimization, which can actually earn you anywhere from $40 to $100 an hour when you have perfected that skill and they understand how to do it. I'm bragging, but I have the right to. Our design team is also available to serve all your video creation and editing needs. We produce videos, promotions to increase client brands awareness, event promotions, fundraising, marketing, and advertising messages. Next, we're going to share with you, this is the best part of the presentation, a video produced by our design team. They explain what VIP Works design means to them, and this video showcases their abilities, skills, and creativity.
While I've only been working with VIP Works for a month, I feel my skills as a graphic designer have greatly improved. So far, I have worked on social posts, videos, and a bunch of flyers. The workplace is a positive atmosphere, and folks are always willing to lend a hand and offer advice. I look forward to developing my skill set to include new mediums like web design, Premiere Pro, and some voice work.
As soon as I joined VIP Works Design, we grew almost instantly, and there was so much to do and so many new skills to learn. I was already creating designs and editing videos, but I also learned about website maintenance, social media marketing, audio editing, and I even recorded voiceover work. There are projects where we all need to collaborate to make a project the best it can be, and this is when our teamwork and individual skills really shine. Everyone here is extremely dedicated, and each person contributes their own skills and ideas. Working here has made me grow both personally and professionally, and it's given me the opportunity to work a job I'm truly passionate about.
VIP Works Design has given me the chance to further improve my skills while working with an amazing group of people. It's been a great opportunity getting to learn, grow, and work as a team. As lead graphic designer, I do my best to anticipate and solve problems quickly and efficiently. Even then, nothing compares to when we all work together. When we do, anything is possible. Knowing that everyone's individual strength brings something unique to the table is always exciting, and it's even more exciting that this is just the beginning. I look forward to seeing VIP Works Design and our team expand as we all continue to learn and grow together.
Let's hear it for our team.
Yay.
Yay.
So you have to understand that video that we just showed you, they created that video for this presentation. And Phyllis and I have been so busy. We've been so busy that we didn't give them any instruction. And when we just said, you know what, you guys, you need to make a video explaining what VIP Works Design means to you. And we told them, you know, you can share whatever you feel compelled to share. We didn't put any restrictions on it. I said, I'm not asking for a testimonial or for you to sugarcoat things. You know, you can explain challenges. You can explain how this has impacted your life, whatever you feel is important. And that's what they made. So we were just really excited. It gave me goosebumps and stuff. I still enjoy watching it, but I'm just so proud of the work that they're doing. I think they did a great job. Yeah. So I want to talk to you about our clients. We form collaborations with clients that share our mission to hire adults with unique abilities to produce real-world design projects. Our clients and business partners believe in us. Often, a new client will come to us and they're expecting one thing. They might be thinking, will you design a new website for me? Or can you help me with social media support? But once they experience our dedication and our persistence at getting the job done right, they usually ask us to perform a myriad of additional digital marketing services. They'll just pile additional services, and finally, we're doing everything for them. We count on our clients to commit to ongoing monthly payments of a significant financial participation, so we can have a reliable income source to pay our employees. And our clients feel like our employees are part of their team. Like they do, they recognize like this is part of their employee team. So it's a pretty cool partnership. Okay, and these are our collaborating partners. They provide the office locations, support staffing, training curriculum. They also implement the curriculum with the VIP Works participants. They provide coaching and soft skills training for VIP Works and also the VIP Works design participants. That's one really great thing about our collaborators. The ASD Adult Achievement Center, McDonald Training Center, and the Brevard Achievement Center they not only help us train our participants to be successful to work for us, but then they provide that ongoing support even after all of the outstanding contracts have expired as far as they're concerned. Like, they're there for the long haul. They want to help these participants for as long as we employ them. Without them, we would not exist, and we wouldn't have the necessary support to be successful. It takes an ongoing coaching and consultative support to help employees be successful for the long-term employment. And our collaborators understand that, and they help us. The ASD Adult Achievement Center provides training and education for adults with autism in the areas of social skills, executive function skills, independent living skills, and job readiness skills. They serve as the print production site for our VIP Works training programs and the host site for our VIP Works design headquarters. At the Altamont Springs office, the ASD Adult Achievement Center generously provides our office space and equipment, administrative staffing support, career coaching, a beautiful office, which you've seen in all of the videos and pictures that we're showing you. And they create an atmosphere and team building services around what we do for our participants and employees. The McDonald Training Center transforms lives through innovations in vocational training, employment pathways, residential supports, and life enriching opportunities. They serve as our VIP work site for social media and email marketing. And finally, the Brevard Achievement Center connects with Bright through their on-the-job training programs. OJT offers a paid, no less than minimum wage opportunity to gain job skills, experience of what it's like to work in an employment environment. And we appreciate all of our collaborators and clients.
Yes, we do. And before we move on to resources, I just have to say that McDonald Training Center is amazing. They have 2 locations, one in Tampa, one in Brandon that just opened. And the staff, it's just beyond. They have a professor that teaches IT. They have certification programs on Microsoft Suite. They just have so many certification programs, which is a perfect fit for VIP because those are the same students that are interested in being in our VIP Works design program, and our VIP Works employment training program, because they're already learning about Microsoft and Adobe and all these different types of skills. And they're amazing. The students are amazing. The staff, they just, because of them, we have a site. We use their computer equipment, we use their staff, and they want to do it. They want to do it. They love it, and they are so invested in the success of these individuals. So I went off script, but I just had to put that plug in for my Tampa partner, McDonald Training Center. So now we have some resources, and, I believe, Denise, these are in the handouts for them. She might be muted. I believe you will have handouts of this. So we're not going to click on the link of every single one of them, but I'll go through them quickly. The Center for Autism and Related Disabilities is statewide. We have one in the Tampa area at it's CARD USF, University of South Florida. I talked a little earlier about the Florida Inclusion Network. The Learning Academy is also part of that whole CARD, Florida Center for Inclusive Communities. It's all together. I think Denise was showing some things about it before our presentation. It's an amazing opportunity for sort of a post-secondary education program. Very intense, very rigorous. Students are amazing. The Division of Rehab, please, if you have kids, especially still in high school, and even if they're not, but if they are in high school, don't let this pass you by. This can start at 14, get on board. They will not just show up at a meeting. You have to request for a VR transition specialist to show up at one of your individual education plan meetings. They have so many opportunities. They may not be the perfect fit for everybody, but at least you can take advantage of seeing what they're about, explore what they have available. The Florida Developmental Disabilities Council, statewide organization, lots of great information on transition to adulthood. Project 10, which is stands for Transition Education Network, statewide organization. They break the state up into regions, much like the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities and FIN. And out here, I think we're in Region 4 in the Tampa Bay area. So they have a designated contact who is amazing, Freddie. And each county has their own little mini Project 10 group. They all have different names. And we talk about things that help each other, working with students and adults that have disabilities. It really runs through age 22. It's great information. Self-reliance, I know it's statewide. I believe it's nationwide. Do you know, Rori?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I think they have centers for independent living in some form in every state. Here in the Tampa area, it's called Self-Reliance. It's really almost young, adult with disabilities driven in a way. A lot of great people that are staff there have disabilities, various types of disabilities, maybe intellectual, maybe physical, maybe both. And it's all about, how can I have my most independent, best life? So it's a lot of, it's a great resource to find self-advocates. And then WEDU PBS has a series called Autism Breakthrough to Hope. And there's tons of transition resources. So there's some good videos on it. But if you scan down the page to the bottom, there are tons of great transition resources. I know because I put them there. So go check those out as well. And I'll end with the Florida Center for Inclusive Communities that Rori and I are so grateful to them and to Denise for hosting this webinar for us, including us today. There's just a wealth of information there. So I will leave that to Miss Denise to talk about further if she would like to. And that about wraps it up.
If we have more time, something we had wanted to do in the slideshow and we weren't able to was to go to our website. And Denise might have to let us know if we have any additional time that we could maybe share a screen. Would that be possible? Or, to go to our website?
It could be, but before you do that, let's make sure that any of our guests who have questions get those answered. And I'd also like you guys to share the story you shared with me when we were planning this about the individuals without divulging who they are, but they were talking about requesting wages, and they're talking about now that they're making real wages, they want to get married. So can you share a couple of those stories?
Oh, absolutely.
From our
You know what? One of the things that makes me tear up still is that, we have a variety of employees. We have several. And without mentioning names, we have one employee that was working at Publix, doing the bagging thing, which is a great job, no problem. But if you have skills to do something else, that was not a fulfilling career. And now they've gone from that to the employment training program to working at VIP Works Design, was able to move out on their own and get married. Yes, I am serious. They are married. So, makes me cry just thinking about it. Then we have another employee that was folding up garments at a retailer. It's okay. It's a job. There's nothing wrong with it. But it wasn't, a match to that person's skill set or abilities. And they have also since moved out since working with VIP Works Design. So, it's great to have a job. And I'm going to be honest, I have a son with a disability, and his dream job would be bagging groceries at Publix because he loves food so much to the point of obsession, but he has a lot of allergies, so he can't do that job. But that would be a dream job for him, but it's not a dream job for everybody. He also would not be able to support himself off of bagging groceries at a grocery store. It's great to start somewhere for sure. You want to start somewhere, and you want to hope that you gain the skills that you need, but you also want to move up. I know many adults that are my age, that are in their 50s, that have been bagging groceries since they were 20 years old. I mean, there's just no upward mobility, and they're happy doing it, and it's great. But because of that, they can't just completely support themselves. They're living in situations where, they're not fully, completely independent because they just don't have the income to do that. So if there's an opportunity to get our young people with disabilities from those entry-level positions, thank goodness that grocery store chains and retailers and restaurants are open to hiring individuals with disabilities, especially intellectual disabilities. That's wonderful, but it doesn't have to the be all end all. There should be ability for people with disabilities, even cognitive disabilities, intellectual disabilities, to earn a real working wage for the work they're putting in. Did you want to add something, Rori? I think you're muted.
No, I think that's really important with, it's something it's hard to share with other people, these life stories that we're seeing evolve in front of us and how quickly it's all happening. You give them an opportunity to do something that they love. And I mean, these are kids who have been working, they're adults who have been working, full-time, possibly for other employers, but not feeling satisfied. And it wasn't adding to their confidence. And when you start giving them assignments that are worthy of their intellect and their abilities and their strengths, then you see this transformation, not only in the work that they're doing, but also in their whole lives, and it's fun because they share that excitement, their love for what they're doing with each other, and it kind of builds on each other. And so that's when you start seeing not only do they feel confident at work, but now they feel confident enough to move out, and move out of their parents' or grandparents' house. And, it's a big transition. It's a life transforming event to get a job that you love and that you feel has potential, and that could be a lifelong career. And the employees are so dedicated to what we do, and they have this vision for us to, they want to take over the company,
And we want them to.
We do, we really do. We had something happen today, Phyllis, and I haven't even shared this with you, so I'll share it with the whole world.
Okay.
But right before we got on the call today, the employees had talked. I've been working on the project, so I haven't been at the office. I've been working at home today. And apparently they're discussing how busy you and I are. Every now and then this happens. We're expanding, we're increasing our clients right now. And sometimes one of us will get a bottleneck of assignments that we have to do. And right now it's you and I. It's the administrative team that's bottlenecked, and we're working 16-hour days, we're tired, and they know it. And so they behind the scenes now are troubleshooting. They're trying to problem solve. How can we relieve Phyllis and Rori from having so much work? So they're telling me today, they're like, we really think that you need to start giving us some project management responsibilities. We need to have some interface with the clients. And not everything. They're like, we want to learn this. We know if you look up job descriptions of graphic designers, it's not just doing the graphic design, it's also interfacing with clients, maintaining project management and things like that. And they said, we want the full job. And we know that you guys are working so hard, interfacing with the client and communicating with the client. And we feel like we need to help with that in the aspects that we can. So he's pitching to me. He's saying that that they want to start handling the revision. So when a client has a revision and they're ready to make that, they've made the revision and they need to send the project to the client. Now they want to do that. And so we were talking on the phone about, well, how can we start introducing you to that? And what resources can we utilize, our Monday.com, or maybe Google or something, Trello, so that they can interface with the clients directly and not keep those assignments from progressing while you and I are so busy. So it's just a fun thing to watch and observe. And it's hard to articulate all of that when we explain what we do.
Yes, it really is. It's just an experience. Today, I had a conversation that you don't know anything about, right? With one of the participants. And I just had to stop and say, your voice is just dynamic. It's just so distinctive. Have you ever thought about being a professional voiceover actor? And very calmly they said, well, Phyllis, there are jobs you get because you need to make a living. And then there are dream jobs. He says, right now, I'm sort of combining them.
Aww.
It started as a job to kind of make a living, but now I'm seeing it's the gateway, it's the entryway to a dream job, because I've always wanted to do that for a living. And now I'm getting paid to practice those skills, and I can build a portfolio, and eventually I might be able to do that full time. But even if I don't, I'm having part of the dream in the job that I have right now while I'm working toward making a living. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that is just wonderful, So it's every day, it's like watching your children grow up. For those of you that have children, it's just like all of a sudden, snap, they went from needing all of this intensive intervention to becoming their own little individual, and then their own young adult, and then an adult, and then transitioning to adulthood. And it's just amazing to watch. And this is even a different kind of amazing, because it's happening so fast. They're growing, don't you think, Rori? They're growing so quickly.
Yeah.
And they're taking on responsibility so quickly. It's almost like they were just waiting for someone to give them a chance, that like they had it all bottled up, and they were just accepting, like people with disabilities tend to just accept the crumbs. We're lucky if we get anything. We better just take this. They might take it away, just make the best out of whatever they're giving me, whatever services I can get. And we kind of get used to that, some of us in this community. And I think now they understand, I don't have to settle for crumbs. I can have the whole darn cake. And then I can have even more than the cake. I can start designing the cake, and I can own the cake restaurant. So it's a real privilege to be a part of that, and to see these young people that are kind of tentative when they come in, and then really trying to take over, which sometimes can be a challenge, but is a happy challenge to have.
Absolutely.
Thank you both for that. Do any of our viewers have any questions or comments for our guests? You can either raise your hands and I will call you one at a time, or you can put it into the chat. No questions, no comments? I have one question. It says, when are you expanding to the rest of the state?
Oh boy. We sure would love to. We just started this. So what do you think?
Well, it's interesting, like that's a loaded question. It's interesting how this kind of evolved into what it is right now. And it really, it really kind of has to do with COVID and the times that we're living in. We had always wanted to build websites and do some of these other activities, but before COVID, we were so busy working on the design work that we were doing that we didn't have time for that. And last year, when we were, all quarantining at home, we had some employees, we wanted to keep them working. So we started doing some new activities that we had always wanted to. It just kind of gave us that time to do what we wanted to. We've been completely busy the whole time. We have not stopped at all. But, I'm open to having participants do work for us digitally. Like Phyllis is working from the Tampa Bay area, and the rest of our design team and production office is actually in Orlando. And so she's participating remotely. And it's not a requirement for us to have the participants be in person. But from our experience, what we've found is that they don't do well unless they are there in person. And maybe we'll be at a point where somebody who's, been working in person with us for a period of time down the road may be able to work digitally, and therefore they could live anywhere. But so it's not a requirement for us, but we have found that all of our participants needed to be in person in order to be successful.
And then another real critical part is our partnerships with these different centers. So, right now we have the 3 that are in 3 different regions. If someone wanted to, if a center type program wanted to support VIP Works employment training program in South Florida or North Florida or some other part of Florida, and they were a great fit, like ASD Adult Achievement and McDonald Training Center and Bavard Achievement Center. If we can get some people trained at that site, because this works, because I believe one of the reasons that it really works is because everyone who's working with us right now has gone through the VIP Works training employment program. So they know what we do. They've already been trained to do those individual things. It's been in a classroom setting. It hasn't been real work assignments. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is real work assignments they're working on, but not in a big way. Now this is a real agency, so people have to be trained. We don't have time to train people in the skill set. They need to, or if they're a web designer, they need to know how to be a web designer. We don't have time to train them to be a web designer. They need to understand how to do social media marketing. We'll train them how to work on the clients. But that training element, at least in my mind, Rory, at those sites is a big part of it. And at least for now, maybe at some point it won't be, maybe at some point we'll be able to hire people outside of that. But right now, I think the employment training sites are going to be our main feeder to our agency.
I agree.
Thank you for
I
that.
totally agree.
We have one more comment and one question. The one comment is we have so few resources in the Northwest region and nothing innovative at all. And so your response that if you had a program that was willing to do the training, they may be able to partner with you and you could expand to that region. So it may be worth Janet Riley having a conversation with some of the programs that are in that area to see if they're willing to provide the services and the training to bring something like that to your region. It can be new and it can be innovative. And it doesn't necessarily have to come from those who are already there providing services. It could be a new idea that you bring to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of benefits for the training centers to take on a project like this. In many cases, it's connected to VR for them. So they're getting monies for these programs. Some cases they're not, some cases they are. So it wouldn't be like such a huge ask to say, hey, I saw an example of a program in this area. Is this something that you might want to get involved in? I know CARD does this endlessly, partnering with different centers. CARD has all kinds of programs with McDonald Training Center, for instance, that have been very innovative and amazing and well received. So, I agree with Denise. It couldn't hurt to ask.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't see us like working, like we're so busy where we are right now. Like I don't see us actually opening a center with another collaboration at this time though, because we're so busy just serving the clients and the collaborators and stuff that we are working with currently.
When our team steps up and takes our spots, then you and I can go out and seed some more centers.
There you go.
Right. And I just wanted to mention that the programs that she was talking about that have partner CARD that's partnered with McDonald Training Centers through our Learning Academy Employment Services and the Learning Academy, and they have partnered and they have a Right now, they're doing a college prep program. They have a program to teach basic computer IT skills and a couple other programs. And if you go to the CAR website or the Learning Academy Employment Services website, you can find out the details for those. Angeline Dyer says, what are some of the national or chain businesses that hire persons living with the disabilities? And before I give that over to you, our first webinar was with Amazon, who has a new program called Amazon Abilities, and they're specifically hiring individuals with disabilities to work, and that is statewide, not just locally in this area. So that's one, and I do know that Google, Microsoft, Apple all hire individuals with disabilities. Marriott hires individuals with disabilities. There's a couple individuals with visible disabilities who work at the Marriott at the Tampa airport. So there are businesses that do it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a national chain that you get your loved one to work for or the person that you work with to work for. Some of the private businesses may be easier to get into than some of the big chains. But make sure it all starts with the passion of the individual who's looking to be employed. Where and what do they want to do, and how, and sometimes you may have to create that job for them. Do you guys have
Absolutely.
anything to say
I
about
agree.
that?
And I believe Amazon starts at $15 an hour for their disability program. I believe that was what the training was that I heard about. Publix in Florida is a well-known good partner of the disability community. They're always involved in Special Olympics fundraising, and they hire all sorts of individuals with disabilities. You'll typically see them bagging, but I've seen them doing other things as well. Also, Macy's here in the Tampa area, at least, Macy's has a program that hires people with disabilities. I think some of the little restaurants like Chick-fil-A and PDQ, I don't eat fast food, but I think I said it right. They have made a commitment to hire people with disabilities, and so has Outback Steakhouse. So sometimes these organizations don't really advertise they do it. They're kind of doing it like not under the covers, but they don't make a big deal about doing it. They've just integrated it as part of their workflow. And I think that's kind of nice. It's just inclusive. That's just the way they think now. They don't think of it as a disability program. They just hire people of all abilities. And geez, isn't that what we really want at the end of the day, right? So I want to make sure real quick. Oh, I'm sorry, Rori, before you say that, I wanted to let everyone know that we would be happy to meet you if you have a business or know of a business that would benefit from our design and social media and digital marketing expertise. We would be happy to assist. Our phone number is on the screen. That is the phone number out in the Orlando area, but you can reach me as well. And then both Rori and I have emails on the screen. Rori at VIPworksdesign.com and Phyllis at VIPworksdesign.com. And then if we get a chance to visit, if not, we encourage you to visit VIPworksdesign.com. Go ahead, Rori.
Yeah, so I was just going to comment about the last topic, where to find employers that are looking to hire, participants with diverse abilities. My daughter, and I think this is true for a lot of people, if you are a participant with vocational rehab, they offer placement and they have companies that they're working with. I know the placement company that we collaborate with, because we trained 79 participants last year with VIP Works, but not all of those people got hired by us. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of people that we train that go out into the community and get jobs, and we work with placement providers through vocational rehab and our collaborators that will offer a lot of job opportunities. In fact, one of our providers from the ASD Adult Achievement Center who does placement, he said that they have an enormous amount of jobs available and not enough people who are trained and ready to go into them. So that would be a really great place to connect with the right employers for your individual adult child who's looking for a job. And that's how my daughter got her job It's funny, when we started doing the VIP Works program 3 or 4 years ago, my original thinking was that my daughter's getting ready to transition into adulthood. She wants to be an editor and a writer. I produce a publication. I mean, this is a great opportunity for me to employ her and other people. And of course, my 2 children, when they graduated from college, neither one of them want to work for me. They see me work so hard for 15 years. They're like, we don't want anything to do with that, Mom. We're getting our jobs somewhere else. But my daughter with special needs, I mean, she has her placement provider with vocational rehab was actually the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities. And they hooked her up with an employer in Orlando, Breakthrough Behavior, that they're doing the same thing as us. They intentionally want to hire adults with autism, and they interviewed her and carved out a job specifically well suited for her. So they interview a lot of people who have autism, and then they look at their jobs and work that they need done, and they carve a job for them. So that's a really great place to connect with in order to find those jobs.
Yes. And thank you guys for sharing all of that information. For those of you who are viewing this webinar, you will get a copy of the handout. You can take our survey. If you know how to use QR codes, you can take a picture of this and it'll take you to the survey page. Those of you who don't know how to use QR codes, just be patient and I will send you out the survey link so that you can access that to take the survey, and it will be electronic. You don't have to download anything, and you should get a certificate immediately after you take it. Our next webinar is going to be on October 7th, and that is going to be talking about community success and community support, and it's going to be talking about ABA and other positive behavior supports in the community. We also on the 19th, we'll have transition basics. And I promise that these links will be correct this time. I apologize for the links that were mixed up on this one. And that will be offered by Project 10. And then the card conference will be coming up in January of 2022. Any questions?
Or can I end with a thought from Dr. Temple Grandin?
Yes.
Again, the international autism expert and advocate. She has said, if I did not have my work, I would not have my life. And I think that's so true of a lot of us. I don't think your whole life should be your work, but a lot of us are tied to what we do with our life. And especially if you're doing something that's particularly meaningful to you that helps others. So I really take that to heart, because she was a young person with autism at 6 years old that people thought wasn't going to get anywhere. She wasn't speaking yet. I think she just started to speak at 6. They didn't think she'd graduate from school, let alone go to college and become a PhD and become world renowned. And everything she does, and everything she's worked on has become her life. And that she said she wouldn't have a life without her job. Her job is her career is her passion. So let's not rob, anybody, regardless of their abilities. Everyone was put here, I believe, for a purpose, and they have something to offer in some way. Everyone's not going to be able to do digital marketing, but they can do something else, and let them have a life full of purpose. So don't be discouraged. Have hope.
Thank you for offering that. We do have one person that asks, can someone that is not diagnosed with a disability be involved? And I will email them a response, your response for that. And they also want to know, where is the place in Orlando that your daughter works at, Rori? We will email that to them. It is now 6:03 and I don't want to belabor the evening or the hour. I want to thank you all for joining. I want to thank you all for being the presenters for today and talking about real wages for real work. And I really hope that you guys stay safe in the midst of all that's going on, and hope that you will join us on October 7th for that lunch and learn from noon till 1 o'clock on community success seminar. So thank you all very much. You guys have a great evening.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for inviting us.
You are
Thank
so
you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you.
Please visit our website for more information about our programs, projects, and how you can get involved.